Hello, and welcome to our presentation, Interdisciplinary Preparation in Language and Literacy. This presentation will focus on Project SPEECH, which is an acronym for Speech Language Pathologists and Exceptional Student Education Collaboration for Children with High Intensity Needs. My name is Dina Slanda, and I am faculty in Exceptional Student Education at the University of Central Florida.
Welcome and thanks for joining us. My name is Mary Little. I'm also a professor in the Exceptional Student Education program at the University of Central Florida.
And I'm Deborah Knox. I'm the clinic director for the master's program in Communication Sciences and Disorders. The objectives for today's presentation are to identify, analyze, and evaluate how special educators and speech language pathologists can be collaboratively prepared to develop, evaluate, and implement targeted interventions to improve students' educational outcomes, especially post-COVID. Also, to describe how special educators and speech language pathologists can collaboratively address missed schooling and interrupted learning to ensure students are not misidentified for special education. And finally, to evaluate best practices for integrated approach to service delivery that addresses missed instruction through targeted intensive intervention, extended learning opportunities, and evidence-based practices.
The COVID-19 pandemic exposed the need for highly credentialed personnel who can ensure millions of students with high intensity needs who experienced interrupted schooling over the past 2 years receive intensive interventions within an MTSS framework. Through interdisciplinary preparation of special educators and SLPs, interventions can be collaboratively designed, developed, and implemented to address missed instruction through targeted intensive interventions, extended learning opportunities, and evidence-based practices. Personnel preparation programs can restructure how they prepare special educators and speech language pathologists to serve students with diverse needs. Interdisciplinary preparation effectively expands the knowledge base of special educators and speech language pathologists. We know that collaboration of key stakeholders is a critical component of delivery and evaluation of special education services. Therefore, it is critical that the intentional integration beginning during preparation leads to that expanded collaboration within the school system and enables each professional to better serve their students. This is really critical because we need to be thinking about what happens post-COVID. We know that missed instruction due to COVID-19 pandemic has the opportunity and potential to be misinterpreted as disabilities rather than the result of interrupted learning. And this could be could lead to inappropriate referrals to special education. Because of this, we need to ensure that our speech language pathologists and our special educators have that knowledge and skills to ensure that our students are not misidentified for special education. We know that the impact of COVID-19 has also disproportionately impacted Black, Hispanic, and low-income communities. To reduce the number of referrals to special education, which are due to missed schooling rather than disability, it's critical that as special educators and SLPs training be further enhanced to meet the demands of a post-COVID setting.
So to address the instructional intervention needs of students with high intensity needs, especially in the areas of language and literacy, that we all know were exacerbated during the COVID-19 time period and the policies and changes that occurred because of that. Project SPEECH has been developed and focused to really take a look at preparing special education teachers and speech language pathologists through this innovative interdisciplinary, it's a personal preparation project through the Office of Special Education Programs. Ultimately, our goals are to really take a look at developing the knowledge, skills, and competencies to work with students with high intensity needs specific in the areas of language and literacy within an MTSS intervention framework. And so as we were developing this project, the three major goals were really to continue to recruit high quality graduate students to address the needs and development, personnel preparation of both special education teachers and speech language pathologists to address shortages, not only in the Central Florida area, but the shortages that we are all experiencing nationally. Preparation of these professionals then were very clearly focused on the advanced standards from the Council for Exceptional Students and Children, as well as the American Speech, Language, and Hearing Association. But then as we developed content and explored materials and methods to include that have been vetted nationally, we also then, as far as course content and then the clinical experiences, wanted to enhance this work to then more focus on and address some of the missed learning opportunities for students due to the impacts of COVID-19. We'll talk in a minute about this special graduate certificate as in interdisciplinary language and literacy that was developed, that cohorts from both programs are collaboratively developed within these courses. After graduation, obviously, it is about retention, specific mentorship ideas and structures for mentorship, demonstration sites, which we will talk about to continue to support the professionals within the field. This model of professional learning, as mentioned, we'll talk about the courses in just a moment. This language and literacy intervention specialists were first co-constructed and approved as a university graduate certificate, that there are 4 courses. Those collaborative 4 courses are taken by the graduate students in both programs and are part of the Masters of Education in Special Education in our college, as well as the Master of Arts in Communication Sciences and Disorders. The 4 courses themselves in this intervention specialist graduate certificate in language and literacy really also build on what we know about best practices within the MTSS framework. And so we think about the first course being the reading course, that we're really thinking about Tier 1 instruction, classroom diagnosis, development of reading proficiencies. Every one of the courses have collaborative performance tasks that SLPs and special education teachers then develop together to actually implement the course competencies in each of the courses. So the reading course is first, taking a look at Tier 1 interventions, possibly Tier 2 interventions. The next course taken with these professionals is really setting the framework for what is MTSS, including the diagnostic, progress monitoring, and introducing them to all kinds of vetted resources from the national centers as well as the state of Florida, so that they are implementing within the MTSS framework. The third class that's taken within the School of Communication Science and Disorders is really focused on almost Tier 3 intervention students with high intensity needs with severe language-based reading and writing disabilities. So it's really continuing that continuum of learning and intervention for students throughout the MTSS process. The 4th course that's taken is a professional collaboration course, which really focuses on the collaboration across disciplines, not just with SLPs and special education teachers, but for all the professionals that may be within the school sites or clinic sites focused on remediating and intervening for students with high intensity needs.
So as we've discussed, the importance of focusing on the COVID-19 across these courses, the coursework has been enhanced to address the COVID-19 policy and procedure, both theoretically and in practice. The field experiences, internships, and clinic opportunities have been adjusted and enhanced to address the COVID-19 problems of practice that may be seen in the students with high intensity needs. And the learning opportunities, including how to provide virtual instruction and intervention within an MTSS framework, have been developed to continue to align with the needs of all schools and scholars. And an important component of this graduate certificate is the school-based and clinic experiences. So our scholars are expected to master and demonstrate the initial and advanced standards of the Council of Exceptional Children and the American Speech, Language, and Hearing Association. The scholars participate in collaborative performance tasks during their courses that allow them to apply the knowledge and skills acquired during the program. And they have culminating assignments that allow them to synthesize in writing the knowledge, skills, and competencies gained through the coursework, readings, related studies, and their experiences.
As a way to connect and address research to practice gaps, our scholars are able to take their evidence-based practices that they learn within their courses and implement them in mentor demonstration sites. These mentor demonstration sites can be found across the 10 school districts that we have partnerships with. It's a way to sustain and build capacity of our scholars and ensure that they remain in the field. It's a retention, it's an innovative retention procedure that we have as part of our program. The mentor demonstration sites continue the learning, not just for our scholars, but then also for the learning of their colleagues within their schools, their peers within their schools, and it continues that growth across the communities of practice that we have within our schools. We encourage you to reach out to any of us through projectspeech@ucf.edu. We appreciate you taking time to meet with us today. And if you have any questions or comments, please address them to us at this email address. Thank you very much.